For today's headlines, House probe on Cagayan region flooding underway. Rodi and Leni in World War. Duterte calls for establishment of government satellite hub in Tarlac. Cayetano allies ousted from House leadership seats. FoodPanda riders cry unfair labor practices. Ginebra TNT win in PBA Philippine Cup semis opener. GOT7 Smart 1 aids Philippines. Fair weather in Metro today. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Thursday, November 19, and now the news. The House investigation into the severe flooding that submerged the provinces of Cagayan and Isabela will start on November 24. Expected to join the hearings are officials from the National Irrigation Administration, the agency being castrated for their alleged untimely and irresponsible opening of the 7 spillway gates of the Magat Dam that aggravated the flooding in the said areas. Magat Dam is owned by the national government through the NIA. While local government officials accused NIA of not providing enough advisories on the release of water at Magat Dam, the NIA was firm on its stand that its protocols were followed and they have informed residents about the discharge of water last November 9, or 2 days before Typhoon Ulysses made its first landfall. The NIA nonetheless disclosed it will review its water release protocols and see if its watershed should be reviewed. Quezon Representative Wilfredo Mark Enverga, chairperson of the House Committee on Agriculture and Flood, which will conduct the hearings, said the House leadership did not provide any specific instruction on how the hearings should take place. Meantime, President Rodrigo Duterte clapped back at Vice President Leni Robredo, given what he called was a competition between them on the delivery of relief to typhoon-stricken Filipinos last week. The chief executive said Robredo, who heads the opposition, should not compete with him. Duterte also lambasted the vice president for allegedly using military assets to distribute relief to the victims of the typhoons which struck a large part of Luzon in the last 3 weeks. In his late-night press briefing on Tuesday, Duterte also accused Robredo as having started the Nasaan ang Pangulo hashtag, which trended on social media at the height of the typhoon. Robredo called the president accusations as fake news and denied having asked for the whereabouts of the chief executive. The president tried to turn the table on Robredo by raising a rhetorical question about whose house she spends her time, and called the vice president as stupid, weak, and unfit for the presidency. Robredo, widow of the late Interior and Local Government Secretary Jesse Robredo, branded Duterte as a misogynist for making that statement. President Rodrigo Duterte was ordered the creation of a National Government Administration Center in the new Clark City in Tarlac that will serve as a backup office of state officials and employees outside Metro Manila in the events of disaster. The President issued Executive Order 119 on Wednesday, directing all departments, bureaus, offices, and agencies under the executive branch to establish satellite or field offices in New Clark City in accordance with existing laws and regulations, as he recognized that the National Capital Region is vulnerable to flooding and earthquakes. Meanwhile, the chief executive urged government-owned or controlled corporations, as well as legislative and judicial branches of government, to establish their respective offices in Tarlac. The establishment of satellite or field offices shall be done in phases and clusters to be determined by the National Disaster Risk and Reduction Management Council. Duterte said the budget requirements for the establishment of satellite offices shall be sourced from available funds of the concerned agencies or from other funding sources such as the Department of Budget and Management. Tribune News and You'll be back after these reminders.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... can't say ko salita. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Three known allies of ousted House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano suffered the same fate as him on Wednesday night. Capiz Representative Redanil Castro, Laguna Representative Dan Fernandez, and Batangas Representative Reneo Abu were removed from their positions as Deputy Speaker following the election of 3 congressmen allied with new House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco. They were replaced by Cagayan de Oro Representative Rufus Rodriguez and Buhay Party List Representative Lito Atienza. Las Piñas Representative Camille Villar was also nominated and designated for one of the deputy roles, but later declined to take the position. Velasco, meanwhile, was designated as the legislative caretaker of the 1st District of Cebu City, following the passing of Representative Raul Del Mar. The chamber also elected former Batangas Representative Mark Leandro Dong Mendoza as its new Secretary General, after Attorney Joselia Bighani Sipin tendered her resignation the same day. Also elected was Pampanga Representative Juan Miguel Arroyo as chairman of the Committee on Energy. Axis Representative Eric Goyap was removed as House Committee on Appropriations chair after he was elected as vice chair of the Committee on Accounts, while Caloocan City 1st District Representative Dil Malapitan was named the head of the House contingent to the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal. Meantime, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III has committed to meet FoodPanda riders to look into the alleged unfair labor practices of the food delivery service company. Senator Richard Gordon brought up the matters during the Senate plenary deliberations on DOLE's proposed budget for 2021. Gordon cited information from the riders and said FoodPanda is using an unfair grading system done by computers. DOLE through Villanueva said the department admitted that the guidelines for this kind of service are still undefined, as this is still considered new to the economy. The riders, on the other hand, were provided with benefits from Social Security Service benefits and Philippine Health Insurance Corporation benefits, Villanueva said. In a statement Wednesday, FoodPanda Philippines said the riders were already informed of its new payment structure for its freelance food delivery riders before its implementation in June. The company said it will look into the concerns of their riders. In sports, top seed Barangay Ginebra and TNT drew first blood in their respective best-of-5 semifinal series in the PBA Philippine Cup. Veteran guard Jason Castro led the way for the Tropang Giga as they outlasted Phoenix 95-92 in their highly physical semi-finals pairing. Despite a nagging calf injury, Castro dropped 20 points and came through with big plays in the closing stretch, scoring 7 of TNT's last 8 points in the last 74 seconds to keep the Fuel Masters at bay. Meanwhile, Ginebra crushed Meralco 96-79 for a dominating series opener. The Gene Kings were relentless right from the get-go and were able to build a 25-point gap in the fourth quarter. Stanley Pringley led 5 other Gene Kings in double figures with 15 points. Scotty Thompson and Arvin Tolentino fired 14 markers each. L.A. Tenario and Aljan Mariano had 11 points apiece, while Prince Caperal posted 10 points. Game 2 is on Friday. We will be back. Stay with us.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
GOT7 member Mark Tuan lent a hand for those heavily affected by the recent spate of typhoons in the Philippines. The group's rapper gave a donation of $1,500 through his friend, streamer Bobby Nam, known as Cordax on Twitch, during his live stream gameplay of Valorant. According to Nam, the stream's earnings will be given to the Philippine Red Cross for the typhoon victims in the country. Mark, under his gaming alias Tuan Z, made two separate donations of $1,000 and $500. GOT7 is set to make a comeback on November with Breath of Love, Last Peace. The northeast monsoon is affecting extreme northern Luzon, but Pag-asa reported no active tropical cyclone within the Philippine area of responsibility. Cagayan Valley, Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, and Central Luzon will experience partly cloudy to at times cloudy skies with isolated rains. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have generally fair weather, except for some patches of isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store and Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Toysito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just search for Tribu Community and Sticker Store and on Stickers. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for our wardrobe. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.
Bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!